Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thanks for joining us on In the Crease with Tommy C. A little morning ice here with Dead on Dave Van Cura. We pre-recorded the show today because I have things going on with my daughter. The only problem with it is it's a very, very good show, but I went for 720p, and there is a bit of popping, unfortunately, on here. I hope you bear with it because it's a really, really good show. And we'll be doing one the next day, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time in the Crease with Tommy C. I apologize for the popping, but that's all that could be done. It was my fault, but it's still a pretty good show, and I hope you bear with this. Here's In the Crease with Tommy C. on October 2nd, 2014. Everybody, it's time for your morning ice hockey fans. What's going on, hockey fans? This is In the Crease with Tommy C. A little morning ice. Let's go over last night's preseason games in the National Hockey League. That's the wrong button, Tommy. Yes, that's tonight's games. Oh my God! If you could believe this, I put both. Oh God, we're gonna have to do this. That's actually kind of funny. Did I do 2 test runs? Didn't I have the scores? Okay, there's the scores right there. Starting off good, even though this is a pre-recorded. We're gonna have you. So let me do last night's scores. What a great start! And I'm not doing this again. There's just no way. There's just no way. Washington Capitals get crushed by the Buffalo Sabres 6-1 in Buffalo. Carolina goes down to Columbus 6-3. The Detroit Red Wings get shut out by Sidney Crosby and the Pittsburgh Penguins. They go down 2-0. The Habs take on the Chicago Blackhawks. Isn't that right, Dave? And the Habs take Chicago out 3-1. It's only preseason. And the Arizona Coyotes, God, I got that right, go down to the Edmonton Oilers in Edmonton. 3.
It's so weird to say that.
2, yeah. It doesn't roll off the tongue, does it, Dave? It doesn't, Dave. And my point man, co-host for In the Crease with Tommy C is none other than the great Dead on Dave Van Cura, who's got a fucking show. That's right, we say F words over here. We do what we want. He's got actually a show coming up on the Shot from the Point production channel, and I think we're going to call it, what? We're going to call it Dead on Dave's
Dead on Dave's week, Wednesday Night Rivalries Lock of the Week.
Oh, Dave.
That was too much.
Oh, I think there's a little bit of a delay here on the video. Oh, man.
There is a little bit.
Jesus. I probably should have just went with the 440 then. You know what I'll do, though? Oh, man, I'm going to be up all day fucking fixing the audio. Oh, God, that's fucking awful. Oh, I don't want it to look like this, but it's going to. I actually could. There's probably something I can do about it. All right. You got last night's scores. Me and Dave, we normally do the show live, so don't. Oh, yeah, I better take that off of the top, right?
Yeah, don't call in.
Yeah, don't call in. Actually, you're more than welcome to call us in at 718-395-7660. But here is the problem with that. The answering machine will pick up because we're not live. And you're more than welcome to leave. You're really more than welcome to leave a message. I think yesterday's show was pretty great. Pretty great. Is that the? I'm just trying to find the. Is that the? Yeah, I got rid of it. So I got rid of it right there. No, yesterday's show was pretty great. And actually, this is how I want to start things off because one of our listeners. One of our listeners had something interesting to say about the topic of advanced stats, and here it is. I don't get. This is Jason Johnson, and he's posted a lot of stuff that we've been doing over the last couple months. I don't get the complete closed-mindedness on the part of many hockey journalists and most hockey players in giving advanced stats a chance. Why in the world would you not want to consider more information when making decisions? You don't only have to use Corsi, but there's other data to consider. Just goals and assists are only one set of data to look at as well. I can't. There's no argument.
There's no argument.
And don't. You know, the word skepticism has become and it never was meant to be to mean denial. That's not the case here. It's not. It is not the case at all. We are not denying advanced stats. We want to see it works out. When you say I'm skeptical of something, it doesn't mean you dismiss it. Whether it be everything. I mean, I dismiss Bigfoot. I deny Bigfoot's existence. All right, but I don't necessarily. But I am a little skeptical on how it'll work or how effective it will be. We talked about Drew Doughty yesterday, and maybe whether Drew Doughty understands it or not, he could be wrong. I know he's a great hockey player, but we've seen stuff like this work in other sports, so there's no reason to consider it. So very, very good comment, Jason Johnson, and we just completely agree with you, right, Dave?
Absolutely. I mean, there's hardly a situation in human history where more information is a bad thing.
Absolutely. There's just this. So. It cuts to the chase. So, I don't know if you were I think he was criticizing Pierre McGuire. I think that's what it was going
Probably.
on. But I mean, McGuire makes outrageous statements. Not recently, I feel like the last 2 years, but he makes a lot of outrageous statements, and he's very confident. And I'm like, I know Pierre's goofy and stuff, but he is a sharp guy when it comes to history and knowing the junior and the college scene as well as anybody on planet Earth. But like I said, don't think that we're just dismissing things. I am interested because it's going to be a part of the conversation all year. Advanced stats, what Don Cherry's got to say. I'm very, very interested in that. Oh, absolutely.
I think it's too big of a story right now. There's not enough. They haven't refined it yet. There's no go-to stat yet, like we talked about yesterday.
Well, I think that's what Jason's talking about. It's not just Corsi. There's other things to consider. It's in its infancy. Dave thinks it might fail. But
it could. I just think there's so many variables that you just can't quantify.
There is. It's like what do they call that? A chaos theory, right? Yeah. So it's like I think me and Dave are generally of the opinion that we have a wait and see attitude. It seems to make more sense in baseball to work because it is a turn-based game. Every at bat is a scoring opportunity, and scoring opportunities cannot be measured objectively in the National Hockey League, and that's why we're basing our skepticism on. Well, I don't know about facts, but
the randomness.
Something solid. Yeah, the randomness. We're not the randomness of the good old hockey game. Not dismissive and what have you. But there does seem to be this sort of elitism out there that these people are almost like science deniers that don't believe in it and what have you, and they have no rationale and no. It's
not
I think
the case
this is,
at all.
Well, at least in our case, it's good, healthy skepticism. Because I haven't, I've heard a lot of theories about hockey growing up and what have you, and then the fact that fighting doesn't change anything, and when I started playing the game, the physical aspect is not as important; it's overrated. And then when you play the game and you get intimidated, or you see another team intimidated, or you see the psychological impact of a big hit or a big fight, you feel it, and there's no advanced stat out there that can measure fear. There's no advanced stat out there that can measure being shaken up, and that's why we're kind of weird about it, I suppose.
Take it a step farther. Take it even a little bit step farther. There's no advanced stat that can measure if you've ever been on a rink, if you've ever been on the ice. Mm-hmm. You can go to a rink that and sometimes it'll just skate differently.
No,
You'll
you're right.
skate on it.
No, you're right. Like just ice conditions and things like that as well. It's indoors now. The garden ice is pretty shitty, from what I understand, because it's on like the 7th floor of a building, and they're always changing it out with the nicks and fights and all sorts.
Somebody spikes the ice one night, and there's a chip the rest of the fucking night. Guy hits that. He's not skating as well as he was the night before.
Yeah,
there's no advanced stat for that.
And that's really what we're going to. But great freaking comment. Keep them coming. Jason Johnson is actually comments a lot and what have you. I'm literally glad he enjoys this new, more straight up hockey show that we're doing, rather than Shot from the Point, which is more of a news goof program, which I hope he watches Shot from the Point live, too, because it's the mothership. But no, great comment. I really enjoyed it. All right, I wrote some stuff down, and then I'll get you to react to it. Supposedly Mike Emmerich said, and we talked about this a little, is just not seeing Marty Brodeur in a Devils uniform is just creepy weird. And as a Ranger fan, I couldn't even agree more. It's just like, Marty, where are you? I want to hate you and what have you. I mean, it's just, I mean, I was in the Garden last week when they opened up with the Devils, and it was just, I mean, people were yelling Uncle Daddy and yelling because they're just like, everybody's confused. Like, what the fuck? I mean, like Derek Jeter, 20 years is a long time. We've just all grown up with him. And it is, I hope he gets another team, but I'm pretty much feeling more comfortable with the fact that I think Marty's finished.
Hang it up. Hang it up. You know, it happens. And
Yeah.
I can relate to it being a Chicago sports guy. When I saw Michael Jordan in a Washington Wizards
That must
jersey,
have been so weird.
when 49ers fans saw Joe Montana in a Chiefs jersey,
Oh, God.
you know, it's just when certain guys, I'm sure Green Bay fans, even though Brett Favre wasn't drafted by the Packers, when he put on a Jets and then a fucking, God forbid, Minnesota Vikings jersey.
Yeah.
You know, that sports have an ability to elicit an emotional response out of
Sure.
people, just like any arts, music, film, all that shit.
Yeah, it's you know, the
How
worst part
elegant
about
of
it
me.
is it's starting to look like Marty's not going to even get that opportunity.
Why would he? He's
Yeah.
40-something years old.
Yeah, I
man.
know, but
mean,
it's just like, all right, let's take a look at Marty's first shake. See, I don't count the shortened season because he was obviously hurt, you know. But last year, it was the first time he looked shaky, and actually, the first indication to me that he was shaky was in the draft in 2013, or I'm sorry, that the Devils had lost confidence in him when they actually
trade.
made that move that great move to bring Schneider to back him up, and then immediately drafting his one of his sons right afterwards, who apparently, from what I've been told, does not really have NHL potential. And it was almost like, yeah, we're moving Schneider in, and but your son has a better shot at the NHL than he would have.
Here's a tip of the cap.
Yeah, and it's like I remember them both being interviewed in like sort of Devils sweaters, and they were asked, "So Marty, what did you think about the Schneider trade?" And he's like, yeah, you know, I didn't see it coming. It's obviously a really good move. We, you know, have a great goalie, but you could just see in his face that he was shocked.
I believe he made the actual statement he didn't think it was going to affect his playing time. And
Yeah,
I think he really believed that.
Yeah, well, I mean, it probably, if he got hot early, it wouldn't have. They did open up with him last year.
Well, the reality is you can't beat Father Time. And he's a great athlete. If not the greatest goalie of all time, he's certainly in the conversation.
Definitely in the conversation.
But you don't beat Father Time.
No.
Everybody has a sunrise and a sunset, and unfortunately, Uncle Daddy, this is your sunset.
And you're like, why am I waxing so poetic being such a Ranger fan? Look,
because you have respect for the game.
Like if you're a sports fan, you really hate Martin Brodeur. I mean, or a Ranger fan. I mean, that's kind of stupid. I don't hate Martin Brodeur. I hate him in what do you call it? Like I hate the bad guy in The Walking Dead. But you know, it's just like the heel, the great heel is walking into the sunset, the thorn in the Ranger's side. You know, and it took him damn near 20 years to get back at us. You know, we did a pretty good job taking care of him, but he did win 3 Stanley Cups and go to 5. But
you know, you can have all the hatred for a player when he's on a rival team, like I had for Brett Favre. I can't stand Brett Favre. I actually wanted to take a hitman contract out on Brett Favre at one point. Do I respect his career?
Absolutely.
You're fucking right, I do.
Absolutely. I wanted to go to the we have a Shot from the Point Facebook page called Shot from the Point Hockey. Just write it in and like us, and I just wanted to go over some more later stuff right here. Do you remember Joe Thornton's famous comment about Thomas Hertl's goal last year? I don't know if you caught that.
I may have missed it, but go ahead and refresh me.
Well, they were giving Hertl, I guess, a little hard time. The reporters were asking him, especially Don Cherry doesn't like over celebration and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
And then supposedly old Captain Thornton at the time, he's been stripped since. Yeah, no, that's another conversation too we could have. He said something to the effect, I'm going to paraphrase, is like, he goes, score 4 goals. He said, you know, if I score 4 goals, I'd whip it out. And then something like, yeah, I'd whip my cock out. And he's like, no, I wouldn't just whip my cock. I'd whip it out and stroke it. And then some prick hockey blogger decided to put that on the air. I mean, he broke one of the cardinal rules, and it pissed a lot of like even hockey reporters that I don't like. They didn't defend him because like you're supposed to have that sort of like protection in I guess certain stages of the locker room, and I guess they were in that stage or that area. For some of the wacky things you say, and this scumbag who was desperately trying to promote his hockey site. Sound familiar? I don't think I did that. Oh, I'm in trouble on Reddit, by the way.
Are you?
Yeah, sorta. You know, I got a message like self promotion on Reddit, and it broke the rules, and then I looked up the rules, and of course it wasn't self promotion wasn't there. So I mean, I put it up there. I framed. You know what it is? I framed our show because I hadn't been posting on Reddit, and then I framed our show as a 30-minute podcast. Just to be fair, so it didn't seem like I was trying to like just rope people in. Here it is. It's about Drew Doughty. It's a 30-minute podcast. Well, they nixed it or read it. Somebody's in there watching me. Somebody doesn't like me, and
someone has a vendetta.
But now I got it. Now I got a message. Now I got a message that it was against the policy. I looked at the policy. Self-promotion wasn't in it. I've seen it on other Reddit, other subreddits, and I never broke the rule. And if I did, I fucking fixed it. But yeah, I guess I'm in trouble on Reddit. Whatever. But going back to fuck them, fucking elitist pricks.
Fuck Reddit.
Yeah, it's not even that. It's just like because like one or two guys control the stupid thing, and they have a shit ton of fucking power, and they can make or break people and what have you. I mean, I don't really care if they don't post a thing. I mean, look, I am going to promote the show as much as I humanly possibly can. I do want to do it within the rules, but I'll bend them.
Sure.
I'll bend them to get in there. All right, we lost track of a good old Joe Thornton, but you can see him here.
Whip it out, Joe.
I don't know if you can see it. Can you see it? No, I don't think they did. They always that XSplit really has to fix that option so you can see what I see. That would be awesome. They have a picture of Joe Thornton, EA Joe Thornton, and they sort of have his cock pixelated out, and it says achievement unlocked. 10G for 4 goals with Jumbo Joe.
That's funny.
It's good shit. And
I think I saw that meme. That was funny.
It's just like a bitchin' meme and what have you. There's other things I want to talk about. Just last week, and I should have brought it up yesterday. I got his face up here right now. Albert, and I'm gonna Slomi. I'm sure I'm butchering the name, but I do know the name of Slomi actually means Finland in Finnish. And he passed away last week, and he was the oldest NHLer, former Chicago Blackhawk, and he died at 100 years old, almost made 101. Albert Slomi. God, I wish I could say that correctly. He played in the NHL. He was of Finnish descent. He was an American. Think about this. He was an American playing in the National Hockey League when there was like 0 Americans in the 30s and 40s, and I guess no, it's one no, yeah, because it would have been in the 30s. Yeah, it would have been in the 30s. It was no Americans, and of course he comes from the great state of Minnesota, which is basically the Scandinavian state. It's the Finnish. Yeah, Minnesota. It's if you go to Minnesota, everybody's blonde. Chris Rock once famously said that the only people from black people in Minnesota were Kirby Puckett and Prince, because it is very white and it's blonde. Not that there's anything wrong with that, and certainly there's not anything wrong with being dark, but it's just a very white hockey area. And it's a great state, and it's a cool story.
You know why it's mainly white people? Because it's fucking cold.
I think black folks are way smarter than that. Like, I'm moving. Oh God, I am. I have always been.
It turns your hair blonde.
I'm a whitey pasty guy too. I mean, like I'm always living cold weather. I live in Germany. Me and you live in Germany. I mean, Jesus, we're just the crackers like us just end up in the cold at the end of the day. Albert, he died at 100 years old. Scandinavian American, former Blackhawk. Played, and I think he was also the last member of. I think it was he. Did he win a cup? No, I don't have that stat in front of me, and I'm not going to go search it out. But we wanted to give Albert a good send off. He after after hockey, he opened a hardware store in Illinois, and his kids still run it to this very day. And it's I don't know. He wasn't a Hall of Famer, but I think it's just important to notice our history. And if somebody makes 100, it's not an accomplishment like they did anything, but it's an accomplishment. It's a genetic accomplishment. But,
especially when you're a pioneer of American hockey, and you can make an argument that he is.
Yeah, you could, because I don't know if I'd go that hard, but I mean,
well, you think about it. I mean,
he's definitely
he was
a fighter
in a time where there was no Americans
really in
doing
the game, And if you were American, you probably were from the area that he's from, and I'm sure he's passionate about the game in levels that me and you probably can't even understand.
Comprehend, yeah.
Yeah. There's also another NHLer, 87 years old, a former Ranger. He has a really difficult German name, Wally Hirsch. I think it's Harsheimer. He passed away at 87 today too. So I think it's important to just kind of touch on, the people that made, that were back then. We don't talk about 30s hockey. There wasn't on TV. So it's good that people keep track of that. And Finland actually ran this story in a lot of their newspapers to let people know.
Would.
This is one of our sons. This is one of our sons that moved to America and what have you. So I know I'm like, I don't know. Maybe it's because I drank too much last night, but
you're getting a little emotional.
Yeah, it kind of warms my heart. It does. It warms my heart. And the only thing else I really have, Dave, is Malkin still has not made an appearance in a Penguins uniform in preseason. So I mean, is he
nursing an injury, or is he something else going on?
We did because we did monetize this. I kind of scratched things together and what have you. And it just kind of put it all together at last minute because we had, we have to pre-record the show. We already did a show this morning, monetize this. But no, I'm not really sure. I think from what I understand, the injury was a simple injury. I'm not. It's really escaping right now, like where it was.
You really can't have both him and Crosby, who's still, as far as we know,
he played last. Crosby played last night.
Yeah, he did, but I mean, he's still going to be having those freaking wrist problems all season,
Crosby's
probably.
Weird. It's funny because like last year, they asked him if his wrist was the reason he wasn't unproductive in the Rangers series, and he said no. But I wondered if he said no because he didn't want to hear everybody call him a pussy.
Probably.
Yeah, I wondered if he was really hurt and what have you, because like we're not Sid fans over here, but we respect his talent.
So I am a Sid fan.
Are you really?
Hate someone.
You goof on him as much as I do.
Well, I love his talent. I don't mind him that much.
Really?
Yeah, he's a puss bag, but
yeah, it doesn't bother you.
No, it doesn't bother me.
I just don't like him.
He's the face of hockey.
He's got to be the most polarizing superstar since Ty Cobb in any sport. I mean, it's like this. Like he's like me. People like me, or they hate my guts. There's no he's all right.
There's no in between.
There's no. So he's I kind of appreciate that, but I'm glad I'm not sitting.
The Penguins are being very coy about the Malkin injury. They're not stating exactly what's wrong with him. They're saying his injuries are not serious and that he isn't far from returning from action. Teams officials are being cautious, and it remains unclear whether Malkin will be available for the Penguins season opener. That is courtesy of ESPN.
Those hands and legs are worth a lot of money, and they're gonna make very, very, very sure that they're gonna make sure that Malkin's ready to go. You have any nerd news?
Nerd news.
You got any nerd news? We'll do Dave's nerd news, which we do.
Dave's
really
nerd. What do I got? I have some exciting personal nerd news.
Okay, give me your personal news.
Okay, for everyone out there who's heard of Loot Crate, those type of services, I am getting my first official arcade block. Now, if you don't know what arcade block is and you like the Loot Crate type of deals, this is no way a promotion. I'm just telling you how awesome something like this is.
Make that clear. We're not promoting.
No. But you get a box full of all kinds of geekery, kind of like this type of stuff. And I'm getting mine. It's the first ever arcade block that's been released, and I'm excited about getting it. So I didn't have anything prepared.
What do you get? Do you have you get that's okay because it's interesting to me. Do you get like stuffed Pac-Mans or
with the arcade block you get a shirt every month, custom shirt, and I think this month it's going to be Zelda, which is fucking awesome. You get like different figures, collectible figures, vintage figures, games, all kinds of different stuff, and it's really neat, man. And
are you going to unbox them on your YouTube channel?
What's that?
Are you going to unbox them on your YouTube
Yeah, I'm going to
channel?
do an unboxing on my YouTube channel at YouTube, The Dead on Dave.
The Dead on Dave.
Because there was another Dead on Dave on YouTube, apparently.
Get the fuck out of here. He
yeah,
stole
I
it
swear
from
to
us.
God.
What years is his videos going up?
I couldn't even, I didn't even look. I just know that I couldn't use that name, so then I just put a "the" in front of it. So I am The Dead on Dave.
I made that name up, and if you remember, it's when we first started playing the game, when we started really in the first stages of invented the shot from the point game. Yep. You got hot in the second round. I mean, you picked like, I think I think in the second round you missed only one series. If I
I was picking
red,
to the
red
game.
hot. That's why we
hot.
call the award a Dead on Dave. And that's why I was like, Jesus, you're like Dead on Dave. And then from that was history, which I think you have a killer fucking not only have a killer radio voice, but I think you have a killer radio name, Dead on Dave.
I do, and that's thanks to you, my friend. Because that one's a beautiful one.
Yes, I didn't think you didn't like it at first. To be honest,
I didn't. Because I thought you were being condescending.
Because you were paranoid. Ugh, get out
I
of here.
am. Yes, we know this. I'm insane.
You're fucking awful. You're awful. I wasn't being condescending. Like, whoa, Dead on Dave. I was like, because you kicked my ass. If you remember.
I did. I stomped a monkey.
You stomped me in the game and what have you. Also, I will do some shameless promoting now that I'm thinking about it right now. Why don't you go over to the Joe Cronin channel? It's Joe Cronin Show, www.youtube.com/Joe Cronin Show, and you can check out me and Dave's latest performance on the show Monetize This. What is Monetize This? Well, it's like I was telling one of our Monetize This fans, like if you're a chick and you ever wonder, like, what do guys talk about? What do they talk about when women aren't around and what have you? Well, this is what to do. Go listen to Monetize This, and you'll figure out what simple creatures men really are, because it's just a bunch of guys talking a bunch of random stuff, laughing their ass off, acting goofy, and with filthy mouths. So if you like that sort of thing, we got hot on
this week's show. It was awesome.
Yeah, and Dead on Dave. Actually, this is your first appearance, if I'm not mistaken.
It was my first appearance on Monetize This.
So I mean, and we actually give each other awards after like a 3 stars of the game, and Dave won the game for having like the best soundbite. So, I mean, that was like super duper awesome, man.
Coming off the bench and hitting a home run. Doesn't get any better than that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, no, wait, I'm sorry. Coming off the bench and scoring the winning goal.
Yeah, it did. It's weird. It's like, and it's not a weird thing like we're competing with each other. We're a team. We're rooting for each other.
Yeah, we're just rubbing each other's cocks.
Yeah. Joe's got the C. And then we're just, you're going, hey, we're slapping each other on the butt in that weird, not so gay way that guys tend to do playing sports. Which don't like being slapped on the butt. You play Little League, where this guy slapping you on the butt?
I loved it. I was always like, hey, what about mine? I've been forgotten.
All right, let's go over tonight's game in preseason. We're getting really close. The Chicago Blackhawks at the New York Rangers.
Again, you guys shut us out last time.
Yeah, that's true. This doesn't mean much. All right, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard. Check out those New York Rangers. I probably won't. I'm not a big preseason guy. I gotta be honest with you. Unless I know some big players playing. Buffalo at Carolina, 7 p.m. Boston at the New York Islanders. Montreal Canadiens in Ottawa. They take on the Senators in Ottawa. Detroit Red Wings head to Toronto for a little preseason matchup. The San Jose Sharks take on the Arizona Coyotes. 10 p.m. All times are Eastern Standard. Thank you very much, Mr. Dead on Dave, for joining me, and I quite enjoyed the show. Did you?
It was fantastic as always, my friend.
It was super duper. Thanks very much, everybody. We'll see you next time. Peace in the Middle East with chicken grease. Bet you haven't heard that since the 90s.